Good afternoon, everybody. So, today we will be covering the last topic of the chapter Nationalism in India. If you remember, yesterday during the lecture, we discussed this theme with you that what were the limits of civil disobedience. Limit means what were the obstacles which created hindrance in the development of civil disobedience. And under this, we covered three different questions covering three different topics. We saw that what were the measures taken by Gandhiji to improve the conditions of untouchables or Dalits in the country. Second thing is to provide the political reservation to the Dalits in the country. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi, they signed one pact called Pune Pact, which turned out in the year 1932. And then the third point that we saw that what are the circumstances that forced the partition in the country, and that why the Muslims, they had a lukewarm means very less in number, the participation during the civil disobedience. So these were the three limits or obstacles which created hindrance in the success or development of civil disobedience. So today we are going to start with the last topic, which is the sense of collective belongingness. You have already marked this answer in your book. We need to just have a quick revision of the topic. So whenever we are going to talk about the sense of collective belongingness, means I am referring to the role of culture. You remember in the chapter of Europe also we have done the role of culture, and the topic that we covered under that was romanticism. That how romanticists, they were using culture to create nationalism among people. This is the same version of the question, but in reference to context in India. That in India, apart from struggling, revolting, agitating, doing satyagraha in the country, what were the other things that created nationalism? The feeling of loyalty towards your nation in the country. And under this, we will be seeing the 5 different roles of culture, that how culture created this connectivity among the people. See, in your board exam, sometime they put the question in a contrasting way, that what is the role of culture in creating nationalism in Europe as well as India. So you will be picking up some points from Europe, and then you will be picking the points from India, and sometime only in reference to India, and sometime they do not refer to Europe and India. They will just simply ask, what is the role of culture in creating nationalism? Then it is up to you whether you want to quote the examples of culture, whether you want to quote the examples of then Europe or from India or Europe. Okay, so now we will start with the first thing. The Germany created its female allegory Germania. France created its female allegory Christian Marianne. India also created the female allegory in the form of Bharat Mata. Now, during the time of struggles, Indians, they wanted to give face to India. They wanted something to be seen and called as, yes, this is what India is. So they gave a picture of a person to India, and that picture was the image of female allegory called Bharat Mata. Okay. So the first picture of Bharat Mata was created by Bankim Chandra. It can come in 1 mark. It was created by Bankim Chandra. The first image of Bharat Mata was created by Bankim Chandra. There was another painting that was painted by an artist called Abhindranath Tagore. He created the painting. So there are 2 references of the names in regarding the image of Bharat Mata. That the first picture was created by Bankim Chandra. Then later on, there was a painting was done of Bharat Mata by Abhindranath Tagore. It's from A. Remember, it's not R. Abhindranath. Okay, he created the image. So what he did is, like we know that India is a calm nation, composed nation. Spirituality is there in our country. So they put all those aspects of India in the characteristics or the features aspect of Bharat Mata. So this is how the image of Bharat Mata was created. So it doesn't come in 3 marks as such usually. It is important for 1 mark question. Who created the image, and later on who created the painting of Bharat Mata. The painting given by the side of this paragraph topic is the painting made by Abhindranath Tagore. Okay, remember. Now in the same paragraph, we will be having the second point, national song Vande Mataram. Again, this national song Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra. He wrote this song Bankim Chandra. Then he created one novel called Anand Mat. Later on, this song, Vande Mataram song, was included in his novel Anand Mat, and it was widely sung during the Swadeshi movement of Bengal. Swadeshi movement of Bengal. These all are 1 mark objective type question. Who wrote the Vande Mataram song? Bankim Chandra. In which novel it was included? It was included in the novel called Anand Mat. And it was sung during which movement? It was widely sung during the movement of Swadeshi movement in Bengal. So it is also important for 1 mark aspect. Okay. Now coming to the third aspect, which is folklore. Folklore means lok kathaएं. Any old stories, old poems, old ballads, beliefs, myths. See, what happened is Britishers, they were trying to create a wrong image of Indians, that Indians are backward, primitive, incapable. So now the nationalists, those who were Deshbhakt in the country, now they wanted to actually create a new image telling the coming generation that what they're trying to portray India is not correct. So what they did is all the nationalists in India, they started giving a tour to different states. And whatever old nursery rhymes, ballads are the songs which tell some story. Any myths, beliefs, कुछ ऐसी धारणाएं है ना, beliefs which we pass on from one generation to another कि इस दिन ये करना चाहिए, इस दिन ये करना चाहिए, this is an auspicious day, these are less auspicious days. So some of these myths and beliefs, they also, anything that could be collected that represent the culture of the country, everything was recorded and preserved. And in this reference, we get 2 names. The first reference is regarding Rabindranath Tagore. He contributed in a long way, whatever he can find in the form of nursery rhymes, myths, ballads. He started collecting it so that he can revive the Indian culture. So first role is of Rabindranath Tagore. Here I'm talking about the poet laureate literature. And second reference is regarding the Natesha Shastri. Natesha Shastri was a person from South. He created a massive 4-volume of Tamil folklores. Tamil में इसको जो भी पुरानी लोक कथाएं मिली, he created a massive 4-volume, and that book came to be known as the folklore of Southern India. See, Natesha Shastri brought out the collection of Tamil tales, the folklore of Southern India. So this is how he was representing the culture of Tamil there. So these 2 things are important in reference to 1 mark question. Okay. Now coming to use of symbols and icons. Now here we will be specially referring to the national flag. Okay. Our national flag was created twice. The first flag, national flag that was created in our country was during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Okay. It was created at that time. Now what was so special about this Swadeshi movement flag? It was a tricolor again. 3 color the isme. Apart from that, this flag had one crescent moon. Crescent moon is half moon बना हुआ था, which represented Hindus and Muslims. Hindus और Muslims को जो represent करता था. This crescent moon was a representation of Hindu and Muslims. This was there in this first flag, Swadeshi movement flag. Then the third thing in this flag was 8 lotuses. इस पर 8 lotus बने हुए थे, which used to represent 8 provinces. 8 provinces means 8 states of Britishers. Actually, Britishers, they divided India into majorly 8 different states. So these 8 lotuses used to represent those 8 states of British in India. So this was the, you can say, imaginary, the picture of the first flag that was created, tricolor flag, with a crescent moon representing Hindus and Muslims, and 8 lotuses representing 8 provinces of British government. Then the next flag was created in 1921. This is an important 3 mark question also. Okay, this flag was called the Swaraj flag. This flag was created by Gandhi ji. This is the flag that we have at present. आपने भी देखा होगा at present flag में हमारे कोई, we do not have any crescent moon, we do not have any 8 lotuses. So this is our present flag, which you can define very easily. It is again a tricolor flag. You can tell that what is the symbolic meaning of each color. What is particularly mentioned is you know that in our flag we have a spinning wheel in the center. That spinning wheel, what is the symbolic meaning? What is that symbolic meaning of that spinning wheel? It is self-help, Atmanirbharta. Actually, Gandhiji wanted this spinning wheel is a wheel of charkha. Gandhiji wanted that the people should not be dependent for employment on others. If they know how to weave or make yarn or thread through using this charkha, they can be self-employed. They can sell those things and at least earn their livelihood for the survival. So this is what he meant by this self wheel in the center of the flag, which its symbolic meaning is self-help. So see, either the question will come in exactly 5-mark way, or these first 3 points are important for 1 mark. This fourth point is important, like the information regarding crescent moon, 8 lotuses, it is important for objective type. What is usually asked for 3 marks is define the Swaraj flag and what were its features. Who designed it, in which year it was designed, so you should know everything related to Swaraj flag, which is our very present flag. Okay. Now the last point is reinterpretation of history, or what we call as rediscovery of India's past. This is also important for 3 marks. Okay, it can come in 3 marks. Again, reinterpretation means redefining. Means you are again defining the history of your country, because the other person, the other Britishers in the country, they are actually defining India in a very wrong way, telling it to be a primitive, backward, very old structured country, incapable of governing themselves. So now the nationalists, they try to redefine history of India by telling people that it is not what Britishers are trying to represent India as. It's not true. India has a very glorious past. It's not that when Britishers came then we started trading. No, even before that time they came into the country, India was already trading. Then we had a very glorious, huge kingdoms and empires. See the art and architecture of those kingdoms and empires. So marvelous things have been made in India. So many inventions have taken place. So many big personalities have taken birth in India. So India is not any normal nation or the primitive nation as being shown by Britishers. So this is how they were trying to rediscover, so that the generation, the present generation at that time and even the coming generation, they have some respect for their country. Once they have some respect for their country, then their feeling of nationalism starts arising in them. So it's important we should know the background history of our country and what our country has gone through and what was there. So it's really important to create this feeling of nationalism. Okay, so this is the 5-mark question, and by this we come to the end of the chapter. After this lecture, I will be sending you again the notes, all the questions that we have done of this chapter. You are please requested to complete your notebooks and timely get it checked and submitted. Okay. So in the next lecture, whenever we are going to have the next lecture, I want all of you should be having the civics books with you so that we can start the chapter. Okay. Thank you for today.